Hello everyone, this is Imam here. Today I'm gonna talk about adding your old Windows games. If you have watched my previous video where I talked about playing your old Windows games collection from your hard drive, basically the games could be anywhere in your hard drive, or it could be in a different partition, or it could be from your Windows partition, but you have some games, old Windows games in your hard drive, and then you wanna play these. In the previous video, if you remember, I didn't talk about some issues you might face. For example, Windows registry settings. What is that? Basically, in the old days, games used to save their settings into the Windows registry. So Windows registry is like a reservoir of settings where you can save some settings there. And then what happens if you trying to play a game and the game might complain, okay, I couldn't find these settings, or it might say something else. For example, it same goes with the Windows. So you will face the same issue in Windows. For example, you had some games, Windows games, and then suddenly you removed your Windows and reinstalled Windows, and then but these games are in a different partition than the Windows partition, or you haven't deleted the games from the different partitions, but you removed Windows and reinstalled Windows. Now you try to play the game and the game would say, I couldn't find the settings. The game is not properly installed because in the new Windows you just install it, it doesn't have the settings, registry settings from the previous Windows, because you deleted the previous Windows now, and the game couldn't find these settings. So the same goes with when you try to play these games in Linux, because you're trying to play these games. Some games would require registry settings, not all games. So in the old days, I would say most of the games used to do this. So you have to solve the issue. One way to solve the issue, you find the registry settings and then you add these settings to your new Windows, or you could, in the Linux case, you have to add these settings into the wine. So there are many ways to do it, but I'll show you the best way, easy way. So suppose the game is saying I couldn't find the settings, or the game is not installed properly, because it's trying to find those settings saved into the registry. So let's start. Let's show an example. Okay, I start Lutris here as usual, and I'm gonna show you one example of that. So basically we have Lutris here running, and then I open, let's say try to open this folder, browse files. So here, no, that's not it. Yeah, here. Let's find one game where, for example, I have this game FIFA 2010, so I suppose it's a DVD game or something like that. Once it install, because let's try to go to that folder, FIFA. So this is the game folder, you can see. And then when I added this game in Lutris and I tried to run it, and the game was saying I couldn't find, I'm not installed properly, because it couldn't find the registry settings saved into the Windows or Windows registry. So in the Linux case, you have to do, it couldn't find the registry settings in the wine. So how do you add the registry settings in the wine? So just select the game and then you go here, and then you can find here wine registry. So it will open up wine version of the registry editor. Pretty much looks the same like Windows version 1, I would say, but not identical, but looks quite similar. So here now you can add the import registry file, export registry file, but I'm gonna show you. Now the problem is, since I don't have the Windows, let's say I don't have the Windows, I don't know how to find this settings file. So so that I can import the registry file. I don't have Windows, so since you have lost it, just like when you delete your Windows, you will lose all this unless you saved that the file, registry file for that game in somewhere. You will lose it. So there is a website. If you totally lose it, lose the settings, registry setting, there's a website. I found this website pretty good. Oh, okay, where is that? Yeah, so there's a website for this if you totally lose it, there's a website. I found this website pretty good for searching for registry settings for most of games mostly. So if you come to this website, I don't know, and then let's try to find if it has FIFA 10. Yeah, it has FIFA 10. And then so these are the content of the registry settings. So you can just download the content or copy paste. So for example, you can download it, and then once you download it, I'll show you how to. So it's downloaded somewhere. I would set into, let's say, here. So we got a rec file downloaded. So this is the settings file for the game. It's a text file basically, but with the extension .rec. Now you can open that file and see if you can edit something here. Say you can see there is a setting for CD drive, like which CD drive the game should look for, D drive, and then location of the game itself. So you have to change these settings since the game is now located in a different folder from the one where it's installed. Maybe it's in a different folder because you are running in Linux, so it has to be a Linux address for the folder. So if you come to this, so the game is now located into this address. So just copy that in terms of Linux, and you have to change that here. Z is the Linux equivalent of this starting folder, and then you replace. And then Windows uses a different kind of notation here for defining address. It uses backslash instead of forward slash. So here I'm setting up the registry for the game, registry setting, and then install it from D drive. Okay, now you have to come here in the game and come to the wine configuration. You have to set up the CD-ROM drive, location drive. So here I have set F. You can add a new one, add new, and then path you can just give it any. For me, it's best. I created a CD-ROM folder in my home folder, so you can do the same. And for F drive, and you can go show advanced and set it to type CD-ROM and then save OK. So F is my CD-ROM drive in terms of wine. So here you change it to F. And anything else you want to change, program group, and yeah, it should be okay. Registration, yeah, all these are the okay. It's saved. Save the file. Now once you did that, now you can, because the file is now, you can call it FIFA 10 registry. And then you can come back here, import in the registry editor of the wine, import, and then locate where the file is. So the file is located in run media like this in that folder. So if you go to the Z drive or root drive here, you can come to the same point, you can see the file and open. Now you will get this notification, the keys values contained in it were successfully added to the registry. That's it. It's now added. Now if you try to run the game, it will not complain anymore. But if the game still requires CD-ROM drive F, so you have to set up the CD-ROM location. For this case is the location is the home folder, but I'll show you how to do that. But anyway, so that's how you add the registry file and the game should work. I'll show you another game from the beginning. Let's say how to do that for Prince of Persia. So these games are pretty much would require the warrior within. So let's add this game to the here in the catalog, latest catalog, add new game, add locally installed game. Let's give it a proper name. Let's search for the proper name. Prince of Persia. Okay, that's the proper name of the game. How do I copy this? And then I set it to wine, and then here executable would be, and what would be the executable file of the game? This one. Okay, and then wine prefix is located. It's a 32-bit game, so we have 32-bit wine folder. And then everything else should remain the same, and you have FPS display should be okay. Now if I try to run the game, so the game is added here. Let's see what it says. You must start the game with the Prince of Persia. Okay, the proper X file should be this one. So I go to configure and change to that one, save, and now if I try to run it, so now here this is the game is now showing this information, but I can't launch the game because that's because it's trying to look for the Windows registry settings for this game. I mean the settings that are saved into the Windows registry. So because it couldn't find into the wine registry setting the same settings, and because we haven't moved the settings over from Windows to wine, so it's now cannot be launched even though. So I have already downloaded the registry settings for this game from this website, I suppose, or somewhere. So I have put the file in the game location so that I don't lose it in the future. And if I open it, I also have set up the the product path is not correct, so let me fix it. Copy. So Z would remain the same, everything else. So because it's looking for the exact location of the game, the game application is looking for exact location of the game from the registry setting instead of other method. So basically that's why you need that. So just copy paste here. That's it. Save. I save the file, and then we're gonna add that into the wine registry. Here wine registry import. Here Prince of Persia. Where is that? That one. This is the file, rec file. You can see it's successfully added. That's it. Okay, now if I try to run the game, let's see if we could Yeah, now you can see the button is activated, launch game, because it can find so now it assumes the game is installed properly by finding the registry. So now we can okay, so I need to launch the game. So that's how you solve the registry problem for Windows, old Windows games. Registry settings problem. Okay, the FPS is not displayed for some reasons, but the game is working nice. Seems like I already have nice bump up the graphics. Oh, it's everything bump up already. Resolution is quite low. Okay, that's the highest you can go. You need some basic effects, brightness, filtering. Yes. So that's fine. Okay, another issue is, let's say you have the old Windows game disk, you want to install it in Linux. Install it in the Linux with the, of course, Wine, and then so that yeah, you don't have the game already somewhere, so you wanna, but you have the disk, you want to install it. So if you come to this website Abandonware, I found a game. Basically it allows downloading some old games. So this game came out in 2005, and then you can come here, and the game had 3 discs, disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, and then DVD release, I think, yeah. But also you have no CD patch for the game, which you need for running the game easily in Wine. And then you also have the serial key and everything. Anyway, so I already have downloaded, I guess, these things. So I have downloaded the files from this website already, just to demonstrate you how to install this game in Linux. In Linux using Wine and Linux. Because for example, you don't have a DVD drive, physical DVD drive in your computer, and then because these files are ISO files, disk files, not the physical disk files, so the one we just downloaded from this website. So you need a virtual virtual disk emulator or something like this, which is able to mount this or load these disk files as a real disk, so that you can install the game from Wine. So for that we need GCDemo or CDemo if you search that. So it's basically a virtual CD or disk emulator for Linux. You can easily find that. That's the best method because it emulates a real disk instead of just doing some kernel level trick. So here, these disk files, I'm gonna extract it. Extract here. Yeah, you can see the ISO files. And we can just close this. So this one, this two, where is this one? This one is being extracted. Okay, this one is this one. And you got the serial key as well. Okay, here. So what you have to do first, just like you do in Windows, you have to load one on the first CD into the drive. Now in this case we are using the virtual drive like GCD move, if you click in the here and then device 00, which is the first virtual drive, just click on that and then this dialog shows up. You click on the load and then you can drag this ISO file there and then open, and it's gonna load up as you can see the notification. Now in here in the removable devices, I have this one loaded. I can just click it to mount it and you can see the setup file into the fast disk. Now what we're gonna do in the latest, just I'll show the non-complicated method. You can go other way, but I'm just showing the manual method. You can create this one locally, and let's open this Faria. You can just copy the name. So it's a game that came out in, okay, just copy the name. I'd like to give it the name Faria, and then wine, just like you would add any game. Executable now in this case would be the setup file, okay, and wine prefix, everything would be the same, just like when you like adding a game, existing game. 132 bit, and I like to keep everything same. Oh yeah, should be okay. And FPS counter, I don't mind that. This is added. Now start. Now this is the setup program as you do in Windows. Next, agree. It's looking for serial key, is already here into the file that we just downloaded. We have some of the serial key here. Just copy and paste. Next, and then it's best to keep the, now it's going to install into the C drive of the wine. So the C drive, if you remember, we set it up here, is this location, is inside this location. You just go to that location here. So it's going to install into this location C drive. But if I don't want to do that, I can change the location. I just type it in here. The way, if you, let's say I want to put it in a different folder. For example, I want to put it in this folder. Let's create a folder here. This folder, which is located in an external drive or portable drive, I just copy the location and then paste it here. Because Windows uses backslash, don't forget to add backslash. Replace all the forward slash with a backslash, and the first is, and you have to add the Z semicolon, which is the equivalent of the beginning, the Linux root partition, because in Linux everything starts with this forward slash. I mean, there is no, so everything inside that location. That's it. Next, now, okay, it's asking, we don't install DirectX because Wine already has DirectX, so uncheck that, and then install. Now it's installing as usual. As you can see, this folder is now populated, being populated by the installer. So the installation is happening from the disk, and the game is located here in our own path. So just like in Windows, you do in the Windows. Now the trick comes when you have to insert the new disk, like a disk 2 or disk 3 for the game. You have to use the gcdemo. Now it's asking for disk 2. Okay, so we just come here in the gcdemo here, and then we check unload, click unload, and then we click load again, and then we tell it now disk 2 ISO load. Once it's loaded, just click it here so that it mounted, and then click OK. It couldn't find for some reasons. Okay, if it couldn't find, there is a way to make it find. So you go to the wine configuration in the drives, HF, let's see, show advance. This is F, and this is CD1. Is it still, so this location, the CD-ROM drive location, is not changed, so you have to update that location. CD2, okay, this is CD2 actually, but why is it still saying CD1? For some reasons it was not loaded properly. Okay, let's try again. I think there's an issue here, but CD2 and CD1 is CD1. It should, yeah, another way to do it, I think the best way, this is complicated, instead of unloading that, I think the best way I show you, unloading is can be tricky, and just load it with the fast drive. So CD1 is there, and then we add a new device here, so we have multiple devices for separate. So in the device 1 now, so you can have as many virtual drive as you want. So we load in the second drive we load the CD2 and click OK, but it is still looking for in a different location. Let's close that, and you have to mount it. Now it's mounted as a CD2, as you can see now. Okay, that's not a problem. You have to go to the wine configuration in the drives, and here is a CD-ROM here. You can remove this one and change this one to this one, CD2, and just paste it there, apply OK. Now in the installer, you say OK. So basically it's a bit tricky, because wine is not if you have multiple virtual CD drive, because wine is only the installer in those days only is looking for one particular CD drive, not multiple locations. So you can, now I can create for the third disk a new device, and then here click again, and then load, and come here where the ISO file located, open up that one. Once opened up, you have to click it to mount it. Now we have to go back to the wine when it's asking for the third device. We change the location of the CD-ROM drive to the third one. So it's not that difficult. So it's now asking for the third one. We go to the wine configuration, drives, and delete that one so that wine is not confused. In the only this one, change it to the third one address, because we already copied that address from here, and apply OK. Let's close this. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, there are now 3 virtual disks provided by GCDMO. So you can just point to that the one required by the game in the wine configuration. So at the beginning you load all of the Ds up like this. That's the best way to set up, and then every time one asks for a different disk, you come to that disk file and then provide that disk file address from going to that, yeah, and then one should be able to find it, or the game should be able to find it. Very easy. Here, most recent device, I don't know what is that. Okay, you can see all the this loaded up here. Alrighty, it's taking a while. So we also need the no cd patch here. We could do that after installation is finished. I'm not sure how do you do that. You just put it into the game folder, maybe put these files into the game folder, it might replace, yeah. Okay, now it's asking for drive 1 again, so we go to the wine configuration and we give drive 1 location. In there, this one. Okay, here now is finished. The setup is finished. It's all done. We can check that in the game folder. So it's 2.3 GB the game. You can see the game folder here under the system, yeah. Now we come here and then copy the files. I think you have to put this into the system folder of the game, no cd patch, and then overwrite, should be okay. Now finally we have to come to the game icon here in the LUTs and go to the game options and change the executable file from the setup one to the game one. So the game one is, I suppose, this one. Let's do that, and that's it. Now you have the game installed and added in the Linux, using the Linux, and run using wine and LUTs. Yeah, the game is. I hope you like this video, and please share and give it a thumbs up, and let me know what you want to see next in my channel. I'll be happy to create a video for that, and until next time, bye bye.